Hey, buddy, how are you?
Absolutely average. How are you?
Average. Well, I'm pretty good. I mean, another week. Can you believe it's episode 10? How quick
Episode
has that gone?
10.
Episode 10. Unbelievable.
It does seem a kind of weird time. It's like I don't know. It doesn't seem real, does it? I mean, I think everybody's getting a bit positive now, a bit excited. Gary, I spoke to one barber today. Damien Owen phoned me today. Have a little chin wag as they do. And I believe our Irish friends phoned you today as well, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan phoned me today, having a reminisce about the old days. Old Johnny King there, who used to work with Denman. So we had a good catch up with Johnny. But Damien Owen phoned me today. Hi, Damien. I know he's watching tonight. And he said, do you know what I'm going to do? He says, I'm going to open at midnight on the 4th of July. And I went, I tried to get it in my head. I'm thinking, all right, okay. He says, I'm that excited to get back. He says, well, we'll have about 300 customers that week coming in. So he says, I want to get started. I'm going to be in my shop at midnight. I thought, brilliant. That's the mood that everybody needs to be in. Hopefully when we get the green light and everything's nice and safe. You know, Gary, episode 10. I've got a little bit of champagne ready to celebrate our 10th anniversary.
And me.
Woo! Champagne for champagne guests. First of all, thank you everybody who's been watching again. Me and Gary are delighted that, you know, in the last 3 episodes, we've had 250,000 views, which is unbelievable. Girl Power last week were unbelievable with 72,000 views. Episode 10, we have 2 unbelievable guests. One from America and one from the UK, who is a global superstar. Really looking forward to tonight, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an awesome show. We've got almost industry... almost legends, but royalty, aren't they, really? It's I mean, these 2 guys, they've done everything, probably seen everything, a little bit older than us, so, you know, probably they've had a head start on us, you know, so that's not too bad. What are we drinking tonight then? What we actually starting on?
I'm starting on a little beer. I've got my faithful Patron, so we've got the tequila. And we've got a tequila mule, and then thought tonight we'd have a little glass of well, I don't know, a bit of champers as well. Oh, so when it's time to have the champers out, I know we shouldn't. There's not too much to celebrate. There's been no to celebrate, and you know, still in the UK for our global viewers, we're still getting tragic news that people are still dying through this COVID-19. But hopefully, you know, we are coming towards a close of that, and everybody's doing what everybody should be doing. So, you know, I think tonight we can have a little bit of a start of the downhill slope, getting everybody in this industry, this amazing industry, back to work, back earning some dough, doing it safely, doing it right, and hopefully within a few months and by the turn of this year, we should be getting back to some normality.
That's it, mate. Well, talking of normality, I'm on the Newcastle Brown tonight. I did notice somebody put on when I had this a couple of weeks ago. They said, "I hope you're drinking it in a half-pint glass, guy, because this should always be drunk in a half-pint glass." But I'm a heathen. I'm feeling reckless tonight, so I'm just drinking it straight out of the bottle. Save on the washing up for my lady. So
usual Friday. It's a usual Friday night. We've had a busy week. I know I spoke to you, we spoke yesterday as well, and we've spoken week and that. But a usual Friday is nice to finish off with a beer and a nice drink. And, you know, like any local boozer, Barbers Arms is no different. You know, we have our usual guests that have joined us from, you know, week 1. And it's great that these guys every Friday night are joining us. I know we've had thousands and thousands of views, but there's certain few people that join us every week. You know who you are. If I miss anybody out tonight, or Gary does, it's not because, you know, we forget you, but there's so many of you that come in every week, and you know who you are, and we just really appreciate it. It's for us doing this, when we see your names pop up on us feeds, then it does make us feel like you're in, same as me and Gaz. You're having a beer with us on a Friday night. Hopefully we're passing your time off. Gary, you've had the same as me. Everybody's been saying, oh, it's just like bitter normality that what we've been doing on a Friday night.
Well, the thing is, I think, I mean, my day today, I know you're always busy with meetings on a Friday, and it's hard to catch you because you have a busy day Friday. It's always naturally we've had our first directors meeting today of going back. It's getting a bit real now. You know, we're going back. It's 3 weeks. Still a bit really brassed off that the government haven't pulled the finger out and give us any guidance yet. It's wrong, really. I mean, the industry's worth best part of 7 billion to the economy, and they can't get us a set of guidance out yet. I think it's really poor, to be honest. But the main thing is we're all positive. I think we're all going to open anyway, no matter what. It's just, you know, we just need that specific guidance of what's actually we're supposed to be doing. But I'm sure we'll do it all right out there. But the main thing is pretty positive all round. We haven't been told yet that if we've got to go back to appointment system and walk-ins are gone. Loads and loads of people are phoning me all the time. Have we got to do appointments? Have we got, you know, we don't really know. It's looking like we are, but for definite, the government haven't actually specified yet. So it's all about managing the queue, isn't it? You know, managing our clients. So
it is. But guys, look, you've just said it there. You've got your directors meeting. You've got five salons, 6 salons.
Yeah.
You know, it's the first time I've heard you say that. We speak all the time. I know you've done maintenance in your shop. You've had your chairs done. You've had your decorating done. You've had your sparkers in. You've done it right. You've reset the button, haven't you, at Rogers? You've reset it. You're ready to go on the 4th of July. I don't think you'll be in at midnight on the Friday night after the Barber's Arms.
No.
David, all right, Demo. I'm all right, mate. I'm in my fucking shop here, doing ready for customers.
Do you know what though? I had a Zoom meeting with the team, and they're like, "Are we open Sunday?" Because we don't open Sundays, and you know, I've always said things have got to be really bad to open on a Sunday. We never open Sundays, but the guys are that keen. They said, "Are we opening the Sunday, the first Sunday after the Saturday?" And I said, "Well, if you want to," and they've made that decision. So I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't it, for staff to want to come in like that. So. You know, we're making decisions on how we go in the risk assessments, and everything's all there and in place. Everything we've got to do is done. So it's just great. I will like to just pick up on what you said about last week's guests. I mean, we've had 72,000 views from last week. Thank you for the girls coming in. Cara, Jasmine, and Frankie from the US, and Andrea, Soph, and Alison. They were great guests. We had a great night. Great feedback after, and you know, without the guests, we've got no show really, other than looking at us two mugs. So thank you again to the girls. We had a great show, great feedback. I think we've got Van nearly ready to come on. I'm not going to give you his introduction yet because we just got to wait another 5 minutes for him. Park his car in the car park and get ready and get his coat off and everything. But from your point of view, what have you filled your week with? What have you been up to?
Well, I'll read it off to you because obviously I think some people at Wall will be watching. So I've been non-stop on my computer. I've been planning preparation. Only kidding, boss. Lots of work. A little bit more on the international side. I've been dealing with some things that we've been going off in India. We've been working with Mandy as well in Australia. Spoke to one of our vice president, Scott Fraser, today, who looks after Japan and stuff. Things are trying to like look back and, you know, looking towards back end of the year to have some form of education happening. But obviously, I was saying on I had a team meet with 15 of our guys, the Wall artistic team, and you know, some of them have struggled a little bit, you know, halfway through this COVID thing. And I think, you know, one of the things I said is, look, my job has changed completely. All I do was change, traveling, seminars. I've had to reinvent some of the stuff I've done. So I have been a bit busy week, and I enjoy the normality of the Wall stuff, the meetings in the morning. We have a meeting at night. You know, you've got different meetings that we're still plowing on. You know, we're launching a brand new styling product that I said, which has been launched this week. Rick Roberts, who's joined us tonight. Rick's one of my team. He's doing some videos at home. Just while we're on that, Sam Campagna's joining us, Rick Roberts, Ross Carter, Rachel Bishop. She'll be joining us, no doubt, as your barmaid tonight, Gary. We've got Ray Simmons, who's joined us, Carl Blake, James Williams, Andy Willis, all in the house tonight, Colin Horton. all these guys who join us every week. It's unbelievable. And like you say, some of the guests that we've got on tonight are unbelievable. Guys, if you're viewing this and you're thinking about watching something else tonight on TV, well, TV's crap because no it's coming out new. Everything's going to be virtual awards coming up. But tonight we have two amazing guests. Got one coming on shortly from America, which I'll let Gary going to do the introductions. And then we have one of the biggest names globally coming on, Barbers Arms, for the first time tonight. For all you barbers and hairdressers out there, no other than Errol Douglas Mbe will be in the arms tonight. I can't wait for this one, guys. It's going to be a big hit.
And honestly, fantastic. In between, we're going to have a little banter between ourselves. We're going to do as I've got a special drink mix for us as well. So we're going to start that. I thought to go with the champagne, so we're going to have a champagne-based one as well. So we're going to mix a drink up at half time, if you like. So without further ado, we've got one of the world's icons, best hairdresser, and fantastic, lovely guy. Won more awards than I can even name. He's been North American Hairdresser of the Year, huge star in the States, on the stateside. He's got 7 salons and a Van Michael Men in Atlanta. And he's also got 42 part share and 42 salons in Japan as well. So we've got the one and only Mr. Van Council. Van, are you there? He's there. How are you, Van? Can you hear us?
Hey, Gary.
Yeah, are you there?
Finally.
You did that on purpose. My heart was in my mouth then.
Man, my flight almost didn't make it. No one's going to hire me to do technology. I can promise you that much.
I've just been saying before you come on, Van. We've had a few technical difficulties, and I know you've got a great team behind you. And I'm guessing you've got somebody to do this sort of thing for you usually.
Normally, yes, when I'm in Atlanta, but I have a home up here, basically on the Georgia-North Carolina line, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I'm running solo today. I was taking
So, Van, I've met you personally a number of times. I've done a lot of work with you. Just introduce yourself to our audience tonight. Just give us a little rundown, a little 1-minute bio of who you are and what you are in Atlanta.
Okay, we have I started hairdressing in 1975, so I've been at this in over 40 years, and opened my first salon in 1984, and we have 8 salons in Atlanta, a couple of them very large with 100 employees in each location. So we have over 400 employees in Atlanta, and last year, out of 8 salons, we did about 29 million. Of course, this year with COVID, we're not going to do that again. But also I have a partnership in Japan where we have 42 salons and about 700 employees in Japan. So, and I've been a spokesperson for Aveda, for the Aveda product line since it started back in 1980 when I was working and traveling with Horace. So, been in the business a long time, love it. Jumped in the barbershop business a couple of years ago. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I'm learning as I go, just like I did in the beginning. But having you over was amazing. And you're absolutely the best trainer in the barber business in the world. So I was glad to be able to connect with the British Barber Association. And it's been a huge help.
Well, what about me, Van? I'm a good presenter. I'm a good educator. Stop giving Gary all the... What's happening here?
No, man, absolutely. I will have you over too.
You two today, it's like listening to Forrest Gump and Bubba over there. Like, yeah, we're best buddies, us two. Yeah, let's kick Simon out tonight. I'll tell you what, I'll go for a beer while you two carry on, motherfucker.
Okay, well, hey, you're welcome to come over. I need all the help I can get.
We'll be up. Me and Gary will be over. We'll never get back.
Van,
anyway, sure.
Sir, thank you very much for making it. Good health.
What are you drinking, Van?
Cheers. Say that again.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a beer by Sierra Nevada. Do you know that beer company?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I've had it a few times in the States. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, so I'm pretty close to that little town where they're from, you know. So I'm drinking the local beer.
Fantastic, mate. Well,
I had a look. I was saying to Gary yesterday, coming over in the car. I was just talking, and I had a quick look at some of your shops. Wow, man, you spend some money on your sites. Unbelievable. They are like emporiums. They are proper smart, mate. Very nice.
Thank you very much. You know, we do try to almost renovate every single one of them every 5 to 6 years. I think it's very important. I think you renovate and build nice salons more for your staff than you do for the customer. You know, if somebody comes in town and builds a nice new, not shiny shop, if yours is all run down, people take off. So I always try to keep, you know, everything up to date and new and fresh and clean, and to keep reinventing ourselves.
So Van, I mean, I'm like we said before, we know you very well. You're very successful in what you do. A lot of our audience are hairdressers, but we're predominantly barbers. And I know you jumped into the barbershop trade a couple of years ago, and you thought, you know, this can't be that hard. I'll jump in. I'll run it exactly how I've done with Van Michael. You know, been very successful. I'll just put everything in place that I usually do, and it'll fly straight away. Now we had a few teething problems, didn't we, mate?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's a different business.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people who are not in the industry, they just think, oh, he's cutting hair, and you know, it's all the same. It's just different on different, you know, ladies and gents, but it's a completely different kettle of fish entity. It's a different animal completely.
Yeah, it really is. I had people tell me, oh, you got to do the barbershop thing. It's a no-brainer. It's easy. Now I'm going around when I'm speaking, I'm saying it is definitely it's more than a no-brainer. It's not easy. It's hard. And, you know, it's a whole different culture. It's a whole different kind of training. So I kind of lost my whole infrastructure of my other company, the way we recruited and trained. It's completely different. And seriously, when I say I'm still learning and trying to figure this out, I really am. I got a long ways to go in the barbering business. But we were turning the corner and doing pretty well before COVID. But I'm scared this is going to, when we get going again, we're going to start all over. You know, it's going to be like again. But it's definitely a different business, but it's exciting. You know, I'm glad to be part of it. It's fun, you know, but like I said, it's completely different.
Van, do you keep in touch with some of the stuff that's happening in the UK? Do you like some of the barbers that'll be watching them? We've just got Vagabond Barbers have just joined us, Gino DiPiaz, Brian Guam from Canada, Sam Wall's watching us, and Ellie McCannell's joined us every week. So some of the guys and our viewers that are going to watch this over the next week, do you keep in touch and have a look at what's happening over in the UK?
I definitely plan on it. I plan on it. You know, I know you guys are, you know, the barber tradition in the UK is hundreds of years old, and you know, we have a lot to learn from you guys. So, you know, seriously, from the Budell Sassoon days, I mean, the UK has always been ahead in hairdressing. I mean, we know that, and we have a lot of respect for the UK and hairdressing and barbering. So we're always learning from you guys.
You were over in London a few years ago, Van. You did some training at Sassoon's as well, didn't you?
Yeah, when I started hairdressing, I never worked for Sassoon, so I don't go around and say I'm Sassoon trained, because I think the only way you can say that if you have actually worked in that organization for a few years. But I did come to London to the academy about 10 different years in a row. You know, then I worked for a guy who was a former artistic for Sassoon's for a couple of years. But you know, been involved with Aveda. I've been over to London. I've done shows over to London. I did the alternative hair show one year, you know, for Tony Rizzo. So yeah, I've been to London quite a few times. I love it over there, and I'm always very inspired. Just being in that city inspires me as a hairdresser and as a business owner.
Fantastic, mate. I mean, just that's taken us to another thing. You're very committed to education. I know you've got your own academy, and I know you have a lot of input in the Aveda academies in North America. I mean, and you knew us personally right from the very beginning. You've been an educator for Aveda for a lot of years, haven't you, as well?
Yeah, I've been educating for them for almost 40 years. But you know, when I opened my salon up, it was 1984, and I was 25 years old. So there really wasn't a salon in Atlanta, Georgia, that had a true training program. And from my experience of studying the industry and watching the training program that Tony, that Vidal Sassoon had, and Tony and Guy, I mean, I really just copied, you know, what they were doing. You know, I always say you can copy success. You know, you can, if you precisely duplicate what other people are doing, you get the same quality results. So I just kind of looked at what those guys were doing. I went to specialization the way they are. Everybody trains to cut or color. We don't have any generalists. So I just really watched what people was doing that's done it before me. And I just really tried to copy it as close as I could. And you naturally put your own twist to it eventually. And, you know, it kind of becomes your own. But I definitely was inspired to have a training program from what I'd seen from traveling over to London.
Right. So I've just got to keep Simon on his toes because he works better with more beer in him. So we're just having a shot now.
Wait for me then. I'm just gonna. I think sometimes people think I'm faking, so you can see it coming out in there.
So what you on tequila tonight?
I do like this tequila actually. It's nice out of a mule as well. Van, are you having a shot with this?
Yeah.
Ready?
Van, cheers. This is from your good friend. This is from Frank Gambuza. This is moonshine.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'm up here in moonshine country right now. When you're here next time, I would hook you up with some good stuff.
When we come in.
Yeah, Frank. Hey, Frank's the one got me into this barbering mess.
I know. Hopefully, we're going to get Frank on as well because I know he's a larger than life character, and I know you guys. Yeah. You guys are really good friends, and can you tell us a little about Intercoiffeur? What your role is there as well? Because for those guys out there, you know, our audience, Intercoiffeur, I should imagine, is the equivalent of our fellowship. I think, is that right?
Yeah, I would say so. Well, I just finished my 4 years of being the artistic director for Intercoiffeur. And the way I got that title and that job was through Frank Gambuza. He was the president of Intercoiffeur, and the president gets to handpick the artistic director. So we've just finished up our 4-year terms. But Frank is a good friend. But the thing about Intercoiffeur is really, it's an organization of very successful salon owners, and they have salons and barbershops. And the greatest part about it is networking, you know, because I realize I've been in the Aveda network for 40 years, doing Aveda shows, hanging with Aveda salon owners. And it was really good to get in that organization and be able to have dinner and talk to people that carry from all different manufacturers and product lines and distributors and, you know, people doing different things. So it's really, the thing about it is just the connections that you make and what you can learn from the people in there. I'm always a constant learner. I mean, I'm still excited about being a better hairdresser, but how to be a better leader, a better salon owner, a better role model. So there's a lot of people in there that I can learn from. You know, I never feel like I've made it. I never feel like I'm on the top. I'm always trying to keep my foot on the gas and staying up with what's going on or getting ahead of what's going on. So just a good organization, a lot of great people to be around.
Van, if I ask, you know, obviously some of our viewers who are learning, I'm sure, will start researching about you guys as well. If you had to change anything, looking at what you've done in your career and the amazing shops that you have, and guys, when you look at his shops, they're not like 30, 40 grand refits. We're talking millions here. This guy really invests into this industry. What would you change about what would you change if you could change one thing about this industry at the minute? What would it be and why?
Well, honestly, I mean, I think, and I've tried to do this, but I haven't been successful at it, and I'm going to try harder, is to make it a more diverse industry, you know, have more Black stylists. You know, we have some, but not enough, and more Black clients. I'd like to see the Black culture and the white culture be more blended in the hairdressing. it's kind of like there's two different worlds going on. You know, the black hairdressing world and the white hairdressing world. And I'd like to see those two cultures combined. I'd like to see white stylists being able to do highly textured hair better. You know, you have some, but most of them in America can't do it, and vice versa. So I'd like to see it more of a little bit mixed culture of our industry.
Fantastic. I mean, where you're based in Atlanta, you've got a really diverse city anyway. There's about, what is it, about 7 million in population in Atlanta, something like that?
Yeah, we're pushing about 7 million, and you know, very mixed, diverse population. We have our city is, you know, has a lot of wealthy, educated, very rich black clientele. So it's something that we try to tap into, but we haven't done as well as we can. So our next goal over the next few years is try to strive to do highly textured hair better and get into that market a little bit better and have products. Even Aveda needs better products for that texture of hair. So I know that they're going to try to put more effort and energy into that. So that's going to be our push for the next few years, is just get better at doing more diverse clientele.
I think, I mean, we're going to put this to Errol later as well, but I think what it is with a lot of hairdressers out there and barbers sometimes, they're scared of the unknown, aren't they? They're scared of stuff that they haven't done before, and they're scared of failure. And the only way you learn is by failing sometimes, isn't it? But it's a very hard industry sometimes to practice on paying clients, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's a very hard ask sometimes. But I think more stylists are scared of the unknown rather than their technical ability. It's almost confidence rather than ability. I think a lot of people are like that, and it's quite hard for them to tap into that kind of side of the business.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We always fear what we don't know. So, you know, like I know DJ Madru, his thing is knowledge is power, which is very true. You know, like once you know it, you're not scared of it. But when you don't know it, you're afraid of it. You just really got to dive in. You know, you got to dive in. And a lot of mistakes hairdressers make when they get out of school or they finish their training program somewhere is they don't continue to educate themselves, because working behind the chair is completely different than training and learning to get better. You know, you can be behind the chair and do the same things day in and day out and make a good living, but you know, you got to get classes on the side. You got to have models on the side. You've got to practice new things to get better at it. You don't get better just by working 8 to 10 hours a day. Really, you know, you kind of stay the same. A lot of people don't understand that you got to, you know, practice. Like ball players, they do a lot more than just playing the game. They practice, practice, and then they have games. But when the season starts, they continue practicing. They don't just settle for the game. So it's the same with hairdressing. I see a lot of them, they quit practicing, learning new things.
How many staff have you got, Van? How many staff in total do you have?
Well, combined with Japan and America, we have over 1,000 employees, but we have 420 in just Atlanta.
Honestly, Simon, when we're next in America, you know, in that part of the country, I don't know when it will be, but I'll take you down and I'll introduce you to Van, and we'll go out for some dinner or something, because it's just like a well-oiled machine. It's quite unbelievable. I mean, I've had the pleasure of working with these guys, and they're such a great team. He's got a great back team as well. He's got Jay and all the girls there who totally, I've never known, you know, a team that are so committed to the boss, to be honest. But
I mean, Gary, that's a lot. That's a lot. Any viewers that's watching this now, these that phone up with like 15 staff and they're like stressing every week. Can you imagine? I mean, obviously at Wall, we have, you know, in excess of 4,000 staff, but, you know, that's across 7 different continents and, you know, 165 countries that we're based in. That is a lot. Just watching your Van, guys who have just come in to watch you as well. We've got Jim Shaw, who's the current British Men's Hairdresser of the Year from Tony and Guy. Jim's in the house. Ellie McCann. We've got John Felice. Paul Simmons has joined us tonight. Barry Carter. And one of our regular viewers here on Barbers Arms, Alison Russo Brown, has joined to watch the Van himself.
So Van, just taking us from that moment, and we're talking about your staffing and the headaches that brings, but just going into something lighter. How do you think you're going to come out of COVID? Is the future looking bright there, or what's happening with your salons? Are you up to full capacity again now?
We are, we were lucky. The state of Georgia was lucky. We're all unlucky, but if you're going to be in this, we were the first state to open up in the U.S. So we were the very first salon to open up for COVID in the United States. And so, we were only, I say only, it was a big deal, but we're only shut down for 5 weeks because New York and California, they've been shut down 10, 11 weeks or just now opening up. But when we opened up the first couple of weeks, we got back up to 30% pretty quick. We're working in shifts, doing every other chair. We're back up to doing about 75, 80% of our normal business. And I talked to the governor today myself. I've been working with him. I've worked with him to let us get open back up. And we're going to be able to go full staff in July. So
that's great to hear.
Yeah. So I think we're going to definitely come out of the other side of it. I'm just thankful to God that we didn't have to be closed for 10 weeks. And once again, the government, I know people want to give them a hard time, but I don't see people saying thank you enough for the PPP money. I mean, they sent us a big, nice, fat lump of money to pay the staff for 8 weeks. So we haven't laid anyone off. We haven't cut any salaries. And like I said, we're back to about 70 to 80% of the numbers, and we're not even full time. So I feel pretty good about it. I mean, it's a terrible thing we're all going through. I really feel like the United States, by January, I think 30 to 40% of all salons are going to be out of business, and restaurants too. I mean, it's made a huge impact, I know, all over the world, but it's definitely, we've felt it very hard here, but I'm thankful that we have hope that we're going to get through it.
Yeah, it's something that's happening all. I think just getting back to work is the first part of it, isn't it? I mean, the thing is that the damage is done when we're open and we realise we can't earn full potential again straight away. I think that's what people have got to remember. We've got to be carrying our businesses for a little while longer before we hit full potential again.
Yeah, you got to still potential anyway. Right?
His potential is going to be a lot different to our viewers that's watching in the UK at barbershops, where they're looking at a grand to break even in a week. He's looking about 3-4 mil a week to break even. He's got a share in an editing factory. Hey?
Yeah, Van, how much did it cost you while you were closed?
We were in Atlanta. We're down about $3 million for the year. The first 5 weeks we were closed, I paid my staff all out of my own pocket. So my payroll is $300,000 a week in Atlanta. So that was a huge hit for me. But I made that decision because I didn't want to have a chance of breaking up my culture. Like I've invested so much money creating the culture, and I just didn't want people to go unemployment and furloughed, and I just wanted to keep the team together. So to me, it was worth spending the money to keep my staff together, because I felt like that's going to be very important for us to get back on track and having all the key people in place. And I wanted them to know that I've always stand on stage and tell them how much I love them and how much they mean to me. So I thought, well, it's time to put my money where my mouth is, and I think they were highly appreciative of it. So so it's been very expensive, 5 weeks to be closed, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I know you have your gathering. What time of year do you have that? When you have your business, I mean, it's almost like a family gathering, but it's when you do all your award evenings and everything. When do you do that?
Yeah, we do that every January. We bring in like top talent from all over the world. We've had Tim Hartley, Antoinette, Vivian McKinder, just Robert Labetta. We've had everybody we could possibly imagine. But we bring in for the day 6-7 different people for the one day, motivational speakers. You've done the company event. So we bring everybody together. So we do it in January. It's a big commitment, but always like to kick the year off with some new trends and some positive thoughts. And, you know, I just know the generations now, hairdressers now, they don't travel and go out and get their education the way we used to, you know. So I want to make sure that I bring education to them every year to make sure that my biggest worry about having so many employees and being in business this long, I just don't want to get complacent. I don't want my staff to get complacent. So that's why I'm always bringing in top guest artists to keep them motivated. And, you know, it's always better said when it's out of town. I pay people to say the same thing I would say, but it's better coming from you or someone else.
I'll tell you what, Van, listening tonight, and if I mean, just listening to some of the comments, Benbo from Men's Room saying, thanks to me and Gary for Friday night's entertainment means a lot to the barbing industry and the hairdressing industry. Michelle Caprio joining us again, and Nikos from London joining us. But if you're watching this, guys, you're probably going to do the same as me. Listening to Van tonight, you're going to get so many more fans now in the UK listening to what you've just told us there, what you've done with your staff, how you run your business. When they start looking at business, I work for an American company, so I know how well we've been looked after through this period of time at Wall. You know, I've been with the brand for 20 years, and when things like this happen and you hear how we've worked and how we've paid the staff and how we've continued to keep things as normal for everybody, the thick band of respect that you have is my career will finish at Wall. That's it. You ain't going anywhere, because in times like this, it shows you how people look after you. And I'm sure Gary's got staff sat at home knowing what he's done and how he looks after his staff, him and Rachel and his brother. You know, it pays off eventually, Van. You've had a massive cost there to do that, but fair play to you, mate. It's the first time I've met you, but listening to that story, I'm just like in awe of what you've done. And I think you summed it up there. You've put your money where your mouth is. Sometimes people go on stage and say, I'll never leave you. I'm with you forever. I love you. My heart's here. And next week, they're going up a fucking shot behind your back. Geoff, my mate, just had it done to him. Put your money where your mouth is. And that's what you've done.
Yeah, thank you. You're right.
I think with Van as well, I mean, the company event that he's on about, I mean, they have all the stats on stage. It's an all-day event. It's a fantastic event. We were very, very lucky to be asked to perform there for the BBA. But you've got staff there that have been with you 20, 30 years, Van, right from the beginning. Your loyalty from your staff is quite unbelievable. And that's quite rightly so, because how you look after them and what environments they've got to work in as well. It pays off in the end, doesn't it?
Gary, there's some people here, Gary, who's asking if you can finish the interview off speaking in American accent, and they're saying please as well. Just everybody who's viewing, just let him have just wants another shot there of moonshine, then he'll be able to join in the conversation with you and Van. We're about to take the night over at Barbers' Arms here, and I hope you're all enjoying the view tonight. We've got one of the best iconic men in America. It's Van the Man. Guys, get on some moonshine and let's keep the conversation rolling, baby.
I love the bunch of you.
I was gonna tell you guys, I was having a hard time understanding y'all's accents.
Welcome to our world.
Van,
hold on, let me get a little bit of me. Let me get a bit of me Jackie and Ross portion. My little patron. Van, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Van, just before, I mean, we're going to bring this to an end in a minute. We're going to let you go. But just before you go, have you got any funny stories before we go? I mean, I know we've got funny stories between us, but have you got any funny stories that stand out throughout your career? I mean, you've been on the road as much as Simon, and you know, with all different brands, but also, you know, you've got 40 years worth of experience as well. What's one of your funniest memories, or one of your great memories of being in the industry?
You want it rated G or rated X?
Wherever you want. There's only 40, 50,000 people watching. You're all right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna write a book about hairdressing stories one day. But I used to do 25, 30 clients a day for 25 years behind the chair and 20 shows a year. But I mean, you know, I traveled with Horace, so I have a million good stories with Horace, the founder of Aveda. One of them, we were doing Cosmoprof in Italy, and our video was playing. We're getting ready to walk on stage, and I decided I was just going to MC and have my team cutting. And Horst asked me as the video was playing, which one's your model? And I'm like, well, I'm not doing one. And he went ape shit because I wasn't going to do a haircut on stage. So he told me, you're going to cut her hair. And one of my hairdressers had this girl's hair sectioned off in about 50 sections. And as video played, I said, I'm doing your model. And I walk out on stage, whether it's clipped off everywhere. I had no freaking clue what her hair was like, what the texture was like, what the sections meant. And luckily that it was an Italian crowd and nobody could speak English anyhow, so I faked it. But yeah, it's been, I mean, I could go on and on with funny stories, you know, but I love this industry. I love hairdressers, you know, like you're saying, we have a lot of staff. Like in Atlanta, we have 120 employees who's been with us for over 10 years and 30 with 20. And we got about 15, 20 people now with 30 years. So, you know, I'm just hairdresser through and through at heart. You know, people always ask me, what's my exit strategy? And I always say death, because I don't ever plan to sell. I don't plan to quit. You know, I'm going to do it to the end. I'm 63 years old and, you know, I'm still loving it. I'm hoping my kids go into the business. So, yeah, it's just a great industry.
I'm sure all our viewers, Van, will have a really good, a different, you know, obviously trying to find out a little bit more about what you've said tonight. It's unbelievable. We finish off sometimes on Barbers Arms just with a little profile on each guest that we have, just to find out a little bit of some personal details, so it's our viewers can get to know you a little bit more. So if they do stop about, and if you're at Salon International, whatever you tell us now, they'll probably come and buy you a drink, buy you a meal, whatever they're going to do. So, Van, first of all, thanks for joining us on Barbers Arms. What's your favourite food?
My favorite food, probably I like sushi, but I guess really I'm a meat eater. I love steak.
Okay. What's your favorite music?
Man, I like really a lot of rap, hip hop music. I'm from Atlanta.
What's your favorite tipple? What's your favorite drink?
My favorite drink is red wine. Or sake. I love sake.
Yeah, it's got to be nice sake though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Favorite destination? Where's the favorite place you like to go on holiday vacation? Because we're in America.
I tell you what, man, I'm a doer. As long as I'm a whitewater kayaker, I'm mountain bike, I snow ski. As long as I'm doing something, like I love going Costa Rica, Ecuador. I love to ski in Colorado and Utah. I'm not go to a city or a beach and hang out and not do anything personally. As long as I can be active, I love everywhere I go. And
who would be your ideal dinner date?
Who would be my ideal dinner date?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my wife, Whitney.
Oh, that's safe. That's too safe, man. That is.
that is safe. That's my story. And I'm sticking to it.
Okay, joining us in the Barbers Arms tonight, we have the amazing Van Council from the Van Michael Group in America. What an amazing guest and what an amazing guy. We've got Van, though. He's sat there having a beautiful steak, listening to some really cool rap music, having a beautiful glass of red wine, maybe a nice Argentinian Malbec in Costa Rica, where sometimes he's thinking this afternoon he's planning his snowboarding or his white kayaking, and he's having all this with his beautiful wife, Whitney. Van Council, thank you for joining us in the Barbers Arms. Top man.
Thank you, guys. I want to finish with one thing. If anyone's ever in Atlanta, we have an open door policy to come hang out in our salons. Anyone, anytime. So if you're there, look me up. Thank you guys for having me. I love you both and have a great night. Thank you.
Van, it's been a pleasure, as always say. We'll keep in touch and hopefully I'll see you in Atlanta very soon.
Yes, sir. You're the best, Gary. Thank you.
See you
too,
later.
Trevor. All right, bye.
Gary, wow.
I told you he was a great guest.
I wanted to stay on. We're going to have to speak to the production team here. If we're in a bar and we've had a couple of beers with somebody who's really good company, it's like any bar. You don't want them to leave until your other mates come. You all want to stay together. Well, great guest. What a guy.
Oh, I tell you, he is the most humblest, generous, lovely guy you've ever met in your life. I've worked for him about 5 times in and around their business, and they just beautiful. Beautiful people, great team. The most, hospitality-based area in America. I love the South. It's just absolutely fantastic. They're lovely people.
1,000 staff though, Gary. That's a lot of people.
Honestly, mate, when you go in, hang on.
We weren't even scheduled for a shop. Fair play to you. Fuck
Well,
it.
I've been told everybody's missing the moonshine, so I've got to get the moonshine in me today. So by the time Errol gets here, I might be moonshined out.
I think Errol's already on Bacardis and Cokes, apparently, or we've got some champagne talk. I tell you what we've done as well at the Barbers Arms now. Some of our people have watched every week. They get a little icon at the top of the name when they're watching us, which says top fan. So let's read some of these top fans out. We've got Ellie McCann. You've registered now in the Barbers Arms for a free drink and a top fan. We also have Robert Grosvenor. Rob, you've joined us as well as one of Gary necking it back behind me. So funny. I'm trying to do my job and you're just necking it back here. Fucking love it. Honestly, this is the best job ever. Can you believe we're not getting paid for this? Anyway, we've got also as well, we've got Ellie McCann, who's registered as a top fan as well. That means that you guys have joined us at every single event. Bobby Thompson as well. Bobby, welcome. And you've entered the top fan zone at Barbers Arms. Alison Brown up in Scotland, you're also a top fan. Nikos, you've registered for a top fan as well from London. You guys, when we go live as well, we want to take you on tour with us, and we'll have a tour bus. Me and Gary have one of them make posh American Winnebagos, we'll have a bedroom each, and it'll be cool, guys. Right,
it's that time of night where we're going to have a little bit of a mixer. So I'm just going to...
I need my barmaid as well, because she's desperate to say hello to Errol. So she's going to have to work for this. Can we have some champagne, please? Yes. Can we have champagne ready?
So we've got 10 minutes before Errol comes on. He's just parking his limo. Well, the limo's just been parked, because you know what, he likes a limo. So what we've got tonight is we're going to do a cocktail. And this is purely because of our guest tonight. And... Errol and Van, good-looking guys, top of the game, nobody better. So, porn star Martini Cocktail here tonight. So, we've got a Martini glass, as you can see, cooling with some ice in, and that's a green screen behind me. So, we're going to tip that into our shaker. So, what we've got is, and I've measured these out already because if I didn't, I'd have been here all night. So we've got...
What a job we have in your drinks.
We've got... Hey, I've had to do this 3 times, just get it right.
Well, listen, do you know your missus sent us all a photograph on the group? Look at Gary, you do know your notes. The bar were all set up, and we could see you there with your porn star Martine. I'm thinking, he's had 3 or 4 of them before we even started. Go on, Gary.
Even Millie and Rachel have been drinking them as well. I said, just try this one, see if this one's all right. So... we've got our mixer, we've got our vodka going straight in. You need to use vanilla vodka, but I've only got normal, so put that in. I've got some vanilla essence, so I'm going to put a good glug of that in, a little bit of that. So we've got the vanilla in there. We've got Passoa. This is a key ingredient. So we've got half again of Passoa. This is passion fruit liqueur. So we're putting that in. We've got a lime squeezed into a jar, straight in there, and then we've got our passion fruit, even with the pips. So put that straight in, gives it the flavour and lovely. Let's just put this on. You've got a cobbler shaker, so this is it making it easy for us. So Gary, while you're doing that, so Jonathan King spoke to me today, and he said, "Where are you, Custotana?" I said, "I've come up to Tesco's because I'm trying to get some passion fruit." Couldn't get any. You said what? Say that again, sorry.
I said to Jonathan today, I've come up to Tesco, see if I can get some passion fruit, because I've got a feeling Mr. Machin tonight is going to do some porn star martinis, and I ain't got no passion fruit. So I'm just going to stick to the old Verve champagne. We'll have a little toast together on our 10th episode. We've got the barmaid in here. We can just get a glass in here. The barmaid's in.
How are you?
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, 10th episode.
So we've got our fresh passion fruit here. So we put one in there, and then we've got some to garnish. Just because it's you, and I know you like a sugared rim, we're just going to put some of the Pessoa and some. This isn't really a martini. This isn't a porn star, but because it's you, I thought I'd do a sugared rim for you because you like a sugared rim, don't you?
So good. Has Rachel got my room ready? You sent us some beautiful rooms. I don't know if it was from a show house or if that is really your house. Is my room ready? It's
all ready and waiting, baby.
So listen, I think what we should, before we take it out live here and go to some pubs locally, I think we should do one in our house first, and then we can get absolutely obliterated. I'll fetch Ken Lee down. We'll go and have a great. Gary, 10th
Look at that, baby.
In lockdown. Congratulations, well done, mate. Nice. Nice.
Oh, that is beautiful. It's only taken me 4 attempts to get that perfect.
Normally, when I go around Leeds and you go into a few bars and we're like, well, we'll go out today, we'll have a few cocktails. And you go into about 4 bars, and if there's 2 of you, you're normally about 90 quid light by now.
Hey, I tell you what, that cost you about 9 quid round our way. I've done it for about £1.50.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. We should have us old Barbers Arms. We should have a pub set up. I don't know what Wall will think about that, but yeah, I think we should.
Barmaid's just, I tell you what, the barmaid's just come from upstairs because she's seen the shaker go. She's come down and drunk the rest of my glass. Look at that. She just passed me an empty glass.
Hang on a minute, let me pan round here. The barmaid is not, she's just drinking. It's sat outside of me. It's hard work, Gary. I tell you, to try and get some staff in these lockdown times.
It's a good job. I made enough for 2.
Well, as soon as we had champagne cork today, that were it.
Well, I missed the champagne. For a proper porn star cocktail, you should actually have a Prosecco or a champagne shot on the side that you sip at the same time. But if you want to, you can tip it in. But I don't particularly like champagne. I'm not a champagne person, really. I'm more a Newcastle Brown, but I quite like making these cocktails for people. So, yeah, I think I could get used to this. It's all right.
It's nice. You enjoying that?
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Anyway, talking about Jonathan King. What a lovely bloke. Do you know what? I don't know if you've seen it, and I can't think of the film, and I'm sure Google or Facebook or somebody are listening to us, because I swear without a word of a lie, we watched a film the other night. It's about 2 young lads, and I can't just remember what it's called. It's called, Millie will tell me. Rachel will come and tell me in a minute. It's about 2 young 8-year-old lads in Belfast in the 70s when the Troubles were on. And I said to my lady, he goes, oh my God, that's Jonathan King, because he's told me so many stories about he'd lived through the Troubles, obviously. He's same age as us, exactly the same age as us. He's 51 this year.
Well, not the same age as me. I'm only 50.
I'm only 50. Hey,
yeah,
by the way, I'm 51 on Thursday.
Jonathan's what, 51?
Yeah.
Well, no, Jonathan's watching tonight, so his paper round must have been just like west of Baghdad.
Hey, he's brought up in Belfast. He was telling me a story when he got all these windows in his house blown out with a bomb close by. But this film, honestly, it was on Netflix, and I watched this film. I said, that could have been Johnny King. That could, back in the 70s, like, you know what I mean? A little bit too old for him, but. And I said to Rach, I said, I must phone Johnny. And what did he do? He actually phoned me today. Somebody's listening, I tell you. Somebody's definitely listening to what we say in our lounges. And I'm into the conspiracy theories, but he phoned me today while we were at the meeting at work. And I had about an hour on the phone with him. Couldn't get rid of him, to be honest. He's the most generous, genuine, loveliest bloke I've ever met in the industry. Is a lot worse for him not being a part of it, to tell you. He's sadly missed. I mean, as you know,
he did a lot with Barber Council, didn't he? He did a lot of. He got involved. He's one of them where he put his money where his mouth were with Barber in early doors. He did a lot with them and with it, and he was a good guy. You know, he still is a good guy. Great to catch up with him today. Say, caught me out of the blue because obviously he got a different number, but I know he's watching tonight. He said he's going to watch tonight. Loved his Irish accent again today. Hey there, my mother's got no buffer there. She says what it is, so that means he's getting every minute a day. Gary, next week as well. Just to tell all the viewers as well. It's a special week next week because we've got some really cool guests next week. We've got my counterpart for a different company from a mother from a different mother. We've got Baldy on from Andy's. Baldy's going to be joining us next week. And we've also got Jay Ramos from Mexico and residing out of New York. They're going to be our guests next week. But it's more special because guess what?
What?
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. We're going to party like it's your birthday.
I know, Thursday.
Balloons out. We're going to have a buffet. We need a buffet. I want Rachel, if she's listening, we need some of those little cheese things. Kenley, are you listening? We want some little cheese squares with onions and pineapple on them, inside an orange. I want to have the drinks ready. We're going to have party streamers. It'd be brilliant. Everybody's invited, by the way. This is one of them parties where, Gary's one of the most generous guys anyway I've ever met. When he's in a bar, or if he's at a bar and anybody comes up, he buys them a drink anyway. But this is one of those parties where everybody's invited. So we want 100,000 views next week for Mr. Machin's 63rd birthday.
Thanks very much. 51st. Hey, can you believe Van's 63?
It looks great.
I tell you what, we didn't manage to get it in, but he's won Ironman competitions and all sorts, you know, like marathon bike rides, like something ridiculous, like 150-mile bike rides, and he's unbelievably fit.
I know how he feels. Is that the door?
We've got Mr. Errol Douglas, I think. Are you going to introduce him?
Guys, we'll get Errol in, and before he speaks, just to introduce this next guest, and just to say a few accolades, guys. In the Barbers' Arms tonight, joining us live, is no more than Mr. Errol Douglas Mbe. Just to mention a few of Errol's awards that he's won. Errol has won Afro Hairdresser of the Year twice. He's a past winner of the L'Oreal Colour Trophy, Fellowship Hairdresser of the Year, Cosmo Man of the Year. And get this, he's made history 24 times consecutively nominated for the British Hairdresser of the Year, industry icon, global superstar. On the Barbers' Arms tonight, put your hands together for Mr. Errol Douglas Mbe.
I'm here.
Whoa, Errol, how are you?
I'm absolutely amazing. And this has been, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Where? This is great. How are you?
We're very well. I'm just having a little glass of champagne because it's our 10th episode tonight. We're looking for 100,000 views. So we thought we'd have a little bit of verve. And Gary's on his porn star martinis. What are you drinking, Errol?
My favourite tipple. Brandy and Coke.
Well done. It's lovely to see you, Errol. Do you know what?
Gary, stop. Porn star martinis are my absolute fave. Did you research that, or did you just...
No, we had a request.
Why, Gary?
We had a request, but we did research that as well, because I secretly asked your partner in crime here, because you said you two go to so many award evenings. I said, what does he usually drink?
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of insider information, but also one of our best, one of the girls who watches us the most, she actually said, "Can you do a porn star martini cocktail?" I mean, it isn't really a martini, is it? Because it's got no vermouth in it, but It's a great drink. It's a great drink.
Oh my God. There's a place, I know this is an international interview, but there's an amazing place. My salon is in Knightsbridge. And have you ever been to the Berkeley Hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Berkeley Hotel, the Blue Bar, makes the most amazing porn stars. Absolutely. And obviously, I don't know if I can mention it now. I don't know if it's a PC place.
Yeah, get it out there.
Yeah, the Dorchester is really cool as well. And the Hari Hotel in Pont Street.
I think we've had a few porn star martinis in the Dorchester after Fellowship Awards.
Amazing.
So, Errol, looking at some of the stuff here on the list, some of the clients that you've done in the past: Naomi Campbell, Brad Pitt, Forrest Whitaker, Diana Ross, Dawn French, Jennifer Saunders, Kelly Brook, to name a few. Mate, everybody who's going to be watching this interview, especially the hairdressers who's joining in, there's some questions that we want to ask you that a lot of people have asked to come in tonight. And keep your questions coming in, guys, as we're speaking to Errol. But obviously, you're a massive, massive name, not only in the UK, but now globally as an icon. And just for like what hairdressing stands for, you've like Van, I don't know if you watched the interview with Van, but, you know, he was just telling us that, you know, he was spending $300,000 a week to pay his 1,000 staff whilst he was closed because he wanted to keep that thing. Great, you know, absolutely unbelievable listening to that. But, you know, we want our viewers now over this next week to know a little bit more about Errol and some of the stuff that they want to ask you, the questions that's popped up this week since we've put the poster out. Errol, we're going to go straight into it. You've been nominated 24 times for the British Hairdresser of the Year. Okay? I'm not saying okay because you don't know. You know it. And I've been with you. I've actually had a beer with you afterwards.
Yeah.
So one of the questions I've been asked to ask is, how do you bounce back to keep going for the Holy Grail?
Okay. And we're specifically talking about the awards.
We're talking British Hairdresser of the Year. You've won everything else.
Okay. All I can say, it's obviously one of the pinnacle things of, you know, I won't say necessarily as a British hairdresser, but obviously if I'm getting the nominations, it's a great honour. It's amazing. But at the same time, it's a drive. It's a drive for me. To get the nomination is incredible, but more so, it's for my team. It's for the people who I work with. It's the people who I mentor. You know, it's a great accolade. But obviously, you know, and I'm saying it from a standpoint of how brilliant it is. You know, you're one of this year, I've never seen so many people. It's 10 people, 10 finalists this year. But usually it's 6 and then it was 8. And obviously now it's 10. So there must be some amazing tiebreakers in there. But it's the greatest accolade. You know, and for me, it's got nothing to do with being at the top of your tree because it's a nomination. So it's a nomination where I want to win it, but it's a great nomination because it celebrates international hairdressing, British hairdressing, and there's the diversity in it is incredible. So all those amazing hairdressers in there, it's amazing and it's great to be in there. So we have to see what happens, but I would obviously love to win it. Go off into the sun.
Listen, mate, I'm always lucky enough to get
background.
I'm always lucky enough to get a nice invitation off AHJ there and sit right in front. And, you know, each year, whoever I'm sat with, I think it's Errol's year this year. You know, every year, you know, I'm saying to you, but coming after that one, because a lot of people might think that I've asked you that question right at the beginning of this interview, but I kind of think there's a lot of people who have been in a position and they've watched people, and there's lots of people like actors who have been nominated for Oscars and they've played loads of different parts but just never got it. I'm after a real honest answer at this. When it gets to the Pinnacle Award and you've done your show bit and everybody sat down, it gets to that last bit where it becomes, so who is the 2019 British Hairdresser of the Year, and that name's read out. It's a tough question, this, but I want to ask you it is, how do you feel that first 30 minutes after the winner's been announced and you've not got it? How do you cope with it? What's your bounce back ability? What makes you keep moving forward? Because for me, as a Yorkshireman and a fire person, I'd be kicking tables a bit. I'd be like, fuck off, see you later, out of the building. You know.
Put it this way. One of the greatest things I think as, you know, human beings is, you know, we always deal with adversity. We always deal with difficult situations. And one of the things is, you know, when you're sitting there, you get this feeling, oh my God, I love Verve. What's going on, man? You got Verve Clicquot as well. How many bottles have you got there?
Just the one, just because you're on tonight. I remember when we were in Scotland last year, I think the Hilton Hotel ran out of champagne, so I thought we're not going to run out of champagne tonight.
Okay, all right. Anyway,
we've got royalty on tonight, Errol.
Oh, Gary, stop it. I need a porn star to get going. But anyway, all I'm saying is, you know that feeling. All I'm saying is my feeling of when I don't get it. I always feel that my name could be called out, but I always get this feeling when my name's not called out because I know. So there's nothing to do with anticipation or, you know, my anticlimax is I just feel it. I just know. You know, my name hasn't been called out for so many times, so I've never won it. So there's no point in me being disappointed because I haven't walked up there to pick up the award. It's disappointing, but I've never won it. So you know,
the thing is, Errol, out there is, I think from Simon's point of view as well, and ours, you know, we've got young staff, they're entering competitions all the time. There's people out there. And it's what keeps you going. But it's that anticipation, isn't it? It's the chase as much as anything else, I think.
Of course.
But it's, you know, and it makes you not, you know, I know it's hard at the time, but, you know, to staff especially, we say, you got to keep going, you got to keep going. To fail, you know, you made a better person in a way, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not.
Ultimately, Gary, I'm getting a nomination, and the nomination's important. So the nomination means you're relevant. It means you're doing the right things. But ultimately, to get there, in respect of British Hairdressing Awards, you have to tick all the boxes. And the criteria for that is obviously mainstream, all the shows you do, TV, all the media coverage you do. It's to make sure you're relevant. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it's me going with the globe on my back because... And again, I'm not dismissing all the people who are in it. There's so many people who want you to win it. I feel disappointed for the people who, you know, when I don't win it, I have to deal with tears, the disappointment. My business partner, Kim Clayton. You know, it's like it's a load of put it this way, it's this great thing of expectations. You know, I don't expect to win, but I would like to win. But at the same time, you can't have everything. You know,
we would like to win as well, Errol. We would like to win. I think everybody country that watches you, you know, I've spent most of my career watching you from when you got in Fame Team, and you know we're a similar age. I know you're a lot older than me, but
keep dreaming on, mate. Keep dreaming, son.
But I think, you know, I think it's like that you've just said as well. What a lot of people don't know if you're viewing as well. You don't enter the British Hairdresser of the Year. You have to be nominated by a lot of people. So to have that for 24 times, to be nominated for British Hairdresser of the Year is a massive achievement in itself. Errol, coming on to it, how did the MBE come about? How did you get the MBE?
Okay, again, Simon, that's a great question, but everybody asks. You don't know you're going to get it. It's an investiture. So people nominate you for it. So when I first got it, I was dumbstruck. You know, I got it in 2008. I didn't expect anything because at the end of the day, I know what this industry is like because there's not many people who are given MBEs in the industry, but there's obviously a few of us. I think there's about 3 or 4 people, but to get it is, you know, it's mind blowing because, you know, certain people in the world or in your society are nominating you for it, because the criteria is quite big to get it. So when I did get it, I was just, I was blown away, you know. And for me, and just like you're an educator, Gary, you know, we educate. That's half of my life, even though I've got a salon, we educate. We're educating all the time. Education is so important. So, you know, and you're experiencing, you're learning, you're, you know, even though I'm educating, I love doing a show with other people because I'm standing in the side waiting to go on. So I'm watching what people are doing. You know, it's, you know what it's like. It's second to none. It's amazing.
You know when you went to, and I guess it was the Queen who invested you as well, but you took your son with you, didn't you?
Yes, I took Ruben. Yeah.
I mean, how proud, I mean, I couldn't think of anything better or anything, any prouder moment than having your son. I mean, I've got a son, got 2 daughters, but to have your kids there with you must be unbelievable.
The most difficult decision ever, and that was one of the most difficult decisions, because I've got 3 kids, 2 daughters, 1 son. My daughter is the eldest. My youngest daughter's, you know, down there, and Ruben is right in the middle. So, and you know what it's like growing up in the household and, you know, all that stuff. So Ruben, because my 2 daughters were such strong characters, not to say he was outshined, but he was 10 at the time. And, you know, they were just on him all the time. And what I wanted to do was take 3 of my kids, but the kids were too young, you know, and Ruben was 10. So I said, okay, I'm going to take my parents and Ruben, because he's right in the middle, and all the girls, they were really encouraging him. So that was a hard decision because you only allowed 3 people.
Yeah.
But great, you know, he's a chip off the old block. He went into hairdressing. Hairdressing is not his thing. He's the designer. He's at London College of Fashion now. So he's doing a degree in fashion. So we can work together. So that's the
very
fantastic. Errol, you've got some nice love coming in from one of my team, and you know him very well. Rick Roberts is saying, love you, my friend. So much respect for you. Everything you have done to help me over my years, Mr. Errol Douglas. Rick's obviously sending the love into you there. Errol.
Rick is one of the up and coming, so you're going to see a lot of him. I've got a lot of respect for him and Zoe.
Yeah, he's done really well with some of the stuff he's done. He's won big awards. He won the Afro Hairdresser of the Year at the Afro Awards, but he also won the Avant-Garde. The Afro Hairdresser at the British as well. So he's done really well, Rick.
Yeah, he's won loads. He's got this. You know, he just goes for it. And again, this is why I think it's so important. And there's this big revolution in texture, and you know, barbers, you know, I'm a hairdresser. I count myself, I'm in your league, but you know, I don't turn away Afro hair or whatever, but we're barbers. Barbers are barbers, hairdressers are hairdressers. You can't say just because somebody's hair is different, you can't cut them as a barber. And I can't say that in the respect of me being a hairdresser. So that's what I love. And we're in that genre. And Rick,
Errol, just quickly, I mean, I know I didn't want to cut you off there, but did you watch the interview earlier with Van?
I saw bits of it, but I don't know if you noticed, where we're in this quandary about getting the backdrop. The backdrop didn't appear.
We were there on rehearsals this morning. Where were you, Errol?
Do you know what? Even though you 2 are royalty, I think you get everybody else. You're used to getting everybody else ready for you.
Guilty.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
I'm guilty though, Errol. I am.
I know. But at that particular time, I was in my salon. I was in the salon today at I was in there way before 10. So yeah, I was on my way. I was working. Come on.
Well, Errol, got another question for you.
What?
Which part of your career would you like to relive?
Oh, that's a great one. The part I would like to relive would definitely be the part I opened the salon in 1998. We opened it there was a bit of a recession going on, but at the same time, it took us 2 years to find it. So the part I would rewrite a little bit, because I think it's a great thing, because, you know, while I'm a brand, I would have gone in at the same time as doing wet products. I would have gone in doing everything at the same time as opening up a salon. So I would have brought out a product range at the same time.
I remember the opening. I think I was there actually, because you was involved with Goldwell at that time. I know Richard.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh my God.
Was it Mottram Street in Belgravia?
Yeah, Mottram Street. Yeah.
So yeah, but again, look, from people looking from the outside looking in, it looked fantastic on that time. I've got another question to ask you. This is a little bit deep, but I do ask it from time to time with high-profile people. Who is Errol Douglas? And have you actually met Errol Douglas? Would you like to meet yourself?
Yeah, that's a deep question. I'd obviously like to meet myself. I think as people, we're kind of learning every day, but at the same time, you know, it's that kind of mirror image. Yeah, because I beat myself up every single day. So I know what that is in the respect of making sure you know who you are. You know, I fight like everybody else. You fight the ego all the time. But obviously to know yourself is to make sure you're not hurting people, saying the wrong thing. You know, to me, it's about encouragement. So yeah, I love that question, but to meet the real person, I'm still evolving. I'm still evolving now. I think it's so big. You know, it takes you such a long time to be comfortable with yourself, be comfortable in your skin. And you know what this profession's like. If you're into doing shows or stage work, or you're being the mentor of your brand, you know, you're showing yourself off all the time. It's a vulnerable place. I'm always putting myself in a vulnerable place. So that's a good question, but I'm you know, I'm looking out all the time.
Errol, I've got a really big question that a lot of people, a lot of up and coming and presenters and educators ask, and how do you balance, and this is a bit of a social media question as well, but how do you balance making money, spending so much time on education, and, you know, that balance of, I know you've got a great team behind you because you're very successful anyway, so, you know, that goes without saying. And, you know, for our viewers out there who don't know you, I mean, you've got a great brand, great business out there, but how do you balance that time? How much time do you spend behind the chair? Because you're a celebrity stylist really now, aren't you? You know, I don't know how much education you do at the moment, but for competitions and everything else, how do you balance that workload?
Well, the fundamental thing, Gary, is I have a salon in Knightsbridge in Mottram Street with my name on it. I don't run away from it. I'm very much involved in it. I'm submerged in it because, like I said, I've got a great business partner. We have about 47, 48 people in the salon, and those people are involved in my life. I'm involved in their lives. We have very much, we have a junior artistic team. We have a senior artistic team. I'm in the salon 3 to 4 times a week, and then the rest of the time I'm out promoting the brand. And the great thing is like, you know, we are, and I say this, we're submerged because I always go in for awards. We're always doing something to do with champion awards. Just because I've won personal awards, the salon has won many awards in the respective salon awards. You know, London Lifestyle, Marie Claire and Vogue. We've won loads of awards as a salon. So that's, you know, for me, that's kind of the icing on the cake, because my salon is not about Errol Douglas. Errol Douglas is about making sure it's all inclusive. We're absolutely going out to make sure everybody knows. You know, our strapline in the salon is technical excellence. So we teach everything: Afro hair, European hair, Chinese hair, Mongolian, whatever you want to say. We everybody. So, you know, any skin color in the respect of our team, That's what we teach. We have we probably speak about 10 languages in the salon as a team.
Wow.
Right.
That's fantastic. Absolutely.
I mean, Errol as well. You look at it and you think, I named a few of your awards, and literally we could have had the opening session there for like 5-10 minutes, just telling everybody how we picked some of the big awards there.
Van,
but it's not just about what you've won. The amount of hairdressers that you've trained, that's gone through Errol Douglas, that's gone into their own businesses, who have become British Hairdresser of the Year nominees. They've won loads of awards. How does that make you feel?
I feel ecstatic. I feel elated because I think one of the worst things you can do is stifle or stagnate or stop somebody's progression within your team. Okay, I very much nurture and I want to make sure people get to where they want. But I think the worst thing is when I'm trying to hold somebody by the cuff and say you've got to stay here. I'm not into that. So if they want to reach out and branch out, that's fine. If I was on that kind of crusade where I wanted to kind of open up salons with them, but it hasn't been like that. Because if you know what it's like, if you've got somebody who works for you and they want to open up on their own, they're always going to do it. So I'm encouraging. It's, you know, and I would say this because unfortunately I'm divorced. My wife is my best friend. I respect her. But at the same time, we're not married. But at the same time, you know, if you've got somebody who works for you and you respect them, you divorce, and it should be a friendly atmosphere. All this hostility and all this nonsense, I can't be bothered with it. Because if you've got children, or you know, your paths are gonna cross. And the thing is, and this is what makes me laugh all the time, people don't realize if you're gonna divorce from your boss or anything, you're gonna see them at an event. They're going to probably judge you.
Exactly.
You can't get away from it. So
I've done the exactly same thing today. I had a conversation with one of our WE team members in India, and we had to sort something out because he's left, but it's 2 weeks since he's left, but there were just like something that just didn't sit right with me. And we got on a call today because I want him to leave on better terms. I want him to like still use our brand. So I'm exactly the same as you, but you must be proud. I mean, I'll mention Jamie because Jamie Stevens obviously trained through you.
Yeah.
He's gone on to win loads of awards. He's got his own salons. He's got his own TV career. And he's been nominated for British Hairdresser of the Year. Yeah. A lot of people who have been nominated for British Hairdresser of the Year, they have done themselves good. But when you look at your resume, you're actually training the next generation of British Hairdressers of the Year, which is like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mate, where does it stop? It's just like anybody who's watching this now, if you put an advertisement out for vacancies, Errol, anybody who's watching this must think, I need to go work with Errol Douglas because I'm going to be the best hairdresser, I'm going to be the best trained, and I've got the chance of being a massive award-winning hairdresser. Yeah.
But the great thing with that, and I'm going to say this in a way of encouragement, is, you know, if you go into anything with a selfish attitude where you want to keep things to yourself, it's just like the child when you send them to kindergarten or infant school, whatever, and they don't share. You know, my whole life, because it's my upbringing, Simon, is about sharing. I share everything. So some people could say it's your downfall, but I think it's important to share because if you share, you're going to get tenfold back. If you try to kind of keep everything for yourself, you're never going to get anywhere. So for me, the next generation is really important because if I can work alongside the next generation, because I'm still doing shows, I'm still doing platform things, and you know what it's like, you do Salon International, you do all these big shows. If you can still be doing what they're doing, I think it's really, really important. And one of our great successes as well, and he may be listening today, is Junior Green. You know, Junior Green used to work for me. Look at his label. Chris Appleton, you know, look at Chris Appleton. You know, Chris Appleton is one of the guys, he didn't work for me, but I mentored him. Look at Chris. Chris is the pinnacle. He's one of those massive, massive names. But at the same time, you know, this goes back to, and you're very much part of it, this goes back to the whole thing of the fellowship. You know, the fellowship, you know, for British hairdressing is great because, you know, anybody is involved in it, and it is such a great platform for emerging talent.
And you've been a massive part of that, obviously, fellowship, and being a past fellowship hairdresser of the year and done everything that you've done with fellowship. What's your thoughts moving forward in terms of, you know, when you look at what you've done with the salon and you've done what you've done in globally, going out there and educating all these people and stuff like that. What's next for Errol Douglas? What's the kind of things that's like, what do you want to really achieve now at next? I'm not going to give you the cliche, where do you want to be in 5 years? But just generally for you as an individual, our viewers want to know about Errol. What do you want to achieve in next 12 months, 18 months? What's on the target for you?
I think the most important thing to say or to answer that is, I just want to be relevant, okay? I haven't entered into hairdressing to be a fly-by-night or somebody to be forgotten. You know, the legacy of the Errol Douglas Salon and the Errol Douglas brand, for me, has to be everlasting. So if you look at all the companies, you know, it could be your company, it could be Weller, Goldwell, L'Oreal, you know, they're all there. They're very much relevant what happens into, you know, the next decades. So for me, my legacy is, because my daughter's in hairdressing now, it's to carry that on. And that's obviously going to be with your salon, that's going to be with a brand, that's going to be with something. But at the end of the day, I think longevity is the most prevalent, it's the most important thing. So for me, it's to make sure that the Errol Douglas brand and the Errol Douglas name lives on. That's what makes you a great person. If you want to carry the you know, not the brandy and coke, but if you want to keep on holding that chariot is making sure your brand lives on. But what, you know, my landlord is one of the oldest names in the world. You know, my landlord is the Duke of Westminster. For those who don't know, I'm right in Knightsbridge, and they own half of Knightsbridge, half of Hong Kong, America. New York, Australia. That, you know, they're huge. So just imagine that whatever happens, you know, you can have an Earl, you can have a Sir, whatever. It lives on. So for me, in hairdressing, to make sure the name, the brand of Errol Douglas lives on, that's most important.
That's fantastic. Woo! I want one of them phone covers as well. Time for a shot, Gary. Errol, a little bit of tequila in the old mule. Let's have a little bit of a tequila. I'm sure Jackie, one of our directors and of the show as well, will be sending you one of our celebrity patron drinks. Rick got one, and I'm sure Rick will be having a meal with us tonight. So I'm sure you'll get one, Errol. But
what is it? Is it a cup? Oh, yeah.
It's a tequila mule. So we just Gary's on the moonshine. So we're just going to have a shot while we're talking to Errol. Up the bottoms for everybody. Cheers, Errol. Cheers, Gary.
Cheers. Good health. All the very best.
The champagne's a little bit nicer. Oh my days.
Where's the champagne gone?
You see us? We're still in with champagne. We're still doing it. Okay. Can you remember up at the Shabba Awards? We actually, Errol, you were there. The proof is, when we asked for some more champagne, they'd sold out of champagne.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know, put it this way, the Shabba Awards. Every time I've been to the Shabba Awards, you hosted the Shabba Awards. I've hosted the Shabba Awards. Come on. We love the Scots. Come on.
We do.
It's such a great. I don't sleep for days when I go to those things. It's not even, there's no let up. You just go on to the next party. It just rolls on. It rolls on.
Yeah, I mean, Ray Simmons will be loving that as well. He'll be loving that we've said that we love the Scots. Hiya, Raymond. We love the Scots. Errol Douglas Mbe saying he loved the Scots. Absolutely unbelievable.
Hang on, because we're national, we love everybody.
Of course we do. Of course we do. Errol, we're going to finish off. We're going to finish off in a couple of minutes.
What?
Just we do a regular profile.
Oh, take the notes of him, Errol.
Take
Take the notes of him. We're all right, yeah. I've got loads of questions
Harry,
for
stop.
you, yeah. Anyway.
Come on.
No, not just yet. But I was going to ask you, Errol. Obviously, from what you've done is, if you won the lottery tomorrow, what was the one thing that you would treat yourself to that you can't do today? What's the one thing that Errol Douglas would buy himself?
I would, because I've got quite a few clients with private jets, and I know this sounds really awful, and I'm a very green person. I would buy a jet, and I would just jet around the world.
I love it. Fucking Errol on his own plane. Right, listen, every time I see him now at an exhibition or a show,
I'm
Errol,
flying.
you flown up in your own jet. Have you met it yet?
I will be flying. I'll be flying. Actually, that's a bit flippant. The real thing I would do, and you know, I say this and I mean this, it's like there's a lot of poverty in the world, and I'm saying a lot of poverty. So for me to kind of, you know, fill somebody's stomach, to make sure they've got a meal, make sure they've got a roof over their head, you know, and I love that word when people use it and they don't understand, you know, if I had that money, I would give it away. I would be a real philanthropist. I would just absolutely, you know, because you can't die with it. You can't take it with you. To me, to make some child happy or make anybody happy who's not got a meal, that's what I would do. I would give a lot of it away. So it's quite a weird question, but I would have it, but I would give it away because there's so many people, you know, we're just imagine, and I know everybody's got different circumstances, Simon, but we're lucky. We're so lucky. Even though we're on this thing now, not people got phones or whatever, we're so lucky. People don't realize how lucky they are in every circumstance. Turning on a light, having a warm bath, having this, having a... You don't know, driving a car, not walking 16,000 miles to go to school.
Well, I think we've seen all this as well, because when we travel to places, like when you've been to India and places like that, you've seen that side of it where, you know, we're staying in beautiful hotels, but the poverty is in and around areas. And you've traveled the globe as well, so you've seen it as well. So, you know, I completely agree with you.
You know what that is, and I'm saying it from a point of view of, you know, if you're humble enough and lucky enough to, you know, you have a couple of bedrooms in your house or whatever, or have a front room, or just imagine you've got a family of probably 16 or 15 living in one room. So,
I know. Well, when we've had the news as well, we're all looking up in the north because we've all got big lavish houses. Me and Gary live in like acres of land, and we've got we've got ponies. But seriously,
listen,
when people live in apartments,
I was told you live in a castle.
Yeah, thanks, Errol. You donated it to me when I won the award up in Scotland years ago. But I think when we hear stories, people living in apartments and they've got a couple of kids and it's tight, you do really, you know, you have to put yourself in their position. Sometimes when we've been in hotels, it's like not nice and stuff. Can you imagine living there?
But you've got to think of, and I think this is really true, you've got to think of, even though people have gone through COVID, you know, there's people who live on the 20th floor, no balcony, can't open the windows, you know, they're kind of, you know, in a modern prison. So at the end of the day, you know, I'd rather be, you know, on the ground than 26 floors or 25 floors up. So yeah, all I'm saying is like we you know, people moan too much.
Yeah, I agree with you. Got to have a positive spin on stuff. And
absolutely.
I think, Errol, just as we're finishing off here, we're going to do a profile.
You're not
on
going.
Errol
Gary said, hang on. Gary said we're not going. Simon, what's going on? Are we staying?
Yeah.
I'm looking at our producer telling me time's running on here.
Who's
Errol,
this? Trevor. He's not even
Trevor,
here.
Yeah. Trevor, bear in mind he's been up since 2 a.m. in Australia as well. So
listen, don't give me all that stuff. I did
Errol.
a show not too long ago, the Expo Awards. I had to be up at 2:30, and it went on for 3 hours. So
Errol, tell us a funny story. Tell us one of your stories when you're traveling and everything. Tell us something that's really happened that's funny.
Errol, what is he on Wiz or what? I can't get a word in edgeways, can I?
Simon, let him speak.
Sorry, Gary.
No, just quickly, I've just got to say, I mean,
Wiz. Fucking Wiz. Who's that Wiz? How old are you?
I just say anyway, Errol,
Gary,
big respect for you, fantastic mate. Absolutely love your work. Van had got great everything to say about you as well. But he's laughing there. I can't just. But he got a lot of good things to say about you as well in America, because he knows you as well. And he's got a good friend of his in Carolinas as well. You know very well, don't you?
Yeah, Carmen.
Yeah.
Carmen Catrona is my friend. Yeah, Carmen Catrona is amazing.
But what I was going to say is, I mean, they're having hard times over there. I mean, Van's in Atlanta, and you know, there's a lot of stuff going on around the world. I mean, crazy. No, it shouldn't be going on, but it's something that happened that shouldn't have happened. But I think people have jumped on the bandwagon almost, haven't they, as well?
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
Has that affected London so much around where you are, or about the opening of the Salon on the 4th?
Yeah, well, put it this way. Obviously, you know, we're in coronavirus, so the majority of people obviously should be social distancing. They should not be, you know, kind of going out spreading what they don't know they have. But at the same time, you know, if we're talking about George Floyd, the whole thing of, you know, people are just angry. That's all. You know, I would say, to me, you know, I'm a humanist. I'm about everybody. You know, we're colorless when it comes to your soul. When you're being born, you know, you're colorless. Just remember, people plant silly negative seeds in you. You know, and I've always been like that. That's why our business is so strong, because we teach Afro hair, European hair, any creed of hair, and that's what makes us so successful. And our indoctrination, and when it comes into people, is the same. So, you know, I think people are angry and upset because a human being was killed. Yes, he was black, but he was killed. You know, that's awful. And people go through this whole thing of their lives of being oppressed, you know, not being heard, being sidestepped, being the whole thing of privilege it's awful. You know, it's equality. That's what people are fighting for. And I think at the end of the day, it's a great distraction from coronavirus. But at the same time, you know, we're human people. We have feelings. You can't stop us from having feelings. And this is awful. You know, somebody just color was killed. It's just awful. But then again, everybody's got their problems. But it's you know, the main thing is, and you do it all the time with your shows, unity. That's what I'm into, unity. If you did a swab test of everybody, we're probably related anyway. So it just makes me die that we have so much angst of people, you know, not liking somebody or whatever. But that person could be your bloody, oops, can I say that? That could be your cousin.
Yeah.
You can say anything on the Barbers. I'm just sat in a pub together.
Just one more thing before we go, and Simon's going to wrap it up with our usual questions. Just two things. I know you've always been a great advocate of Get Registered and the Hair Council, Barber Council. You've always been there for us. I think it's fantastic that what you've stood for, and I know we've met a few times in Parliament. Just from a personal point of view, I've got to give Rachel a shout out, my other half. We've got a photo. Yeah. She's got a photo of her with you. She's posted it on our group tonight before we went on our group photos, and She wants to put that photo of you on our bedroom wall, and I said, I said,
Thinking of me,
you can have
Gary, or thinking of you.
You can have the photo, but you're not putting it on the wall.
Why? What's scaring you, Gary? That is a
His
funny
hands
story.
are so big.
That is a funny story. Errol.
Gary, do you know what this is?
I think it's a electrical device.
Which one?
Is it a straightener?
Yeah. Can you see it? I'm turning it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a new Dyson.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Oops. What? What's going on? Sorry, that was meant to, I'm not going to say it because I'm not like that. But it was, it's a great tool. Put it that way.
Errol, as we're wrapping up, what's one of the funniest stories that you've had while you've been doing shows, working salons, traveling abroad? What's the one thing that sticks out that like creases you up? What's the funniest story that you've got?
Funniest story. It's got to be a quick one. The funniest story I would say was at the particular time I was doing a model's hair backstage, and she was, all I can say is, I don't know, when a woman or a man would walk into your salon and they've got a wig on or a toupee or, but they are so convinced that you would never know. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing a model backstage and I said to her at that particular time, and I said it to her 6 times, if I put tongs or anything hot in your hair, will it dissolve? And she said, no, Mike, this is fine, this is well. But all I'm saying, this is the funny thing in this story, I knew it was synthetic hair. I knew the hair wasn't real. So, and I get that again, I started to tong her hair and style her hair, and guess what happened?
What? It broke off.
It broke off. It broke off. Broke off. She was. But hang on, I have to tell you the story. I'm a professional. I absolutely knew this would happen, and I just did it because I just thought, okay, you're lying to me. Just tell me your hair's not real. I know it's not real. But it wasn't a weave. It was glued on. It was glued. Absolutely glued. It was amazing. It was like rock solid. And I said this will happen. And it was quite funny because I didn't even show her. I just, that old trick what hairdressers do?
Yeah.
I just... I just shoved it aside and carried on. And I obviously got something else. I think I ran to the stylist who had a steamer, and I ended up steaming her hair and then just putting it in pin curls. It was so funny. So funny. My team were looking at me and thinking, "Oh my God, Errol, how did you get her hair to do that?" It was funny. It was really funny.
Errol, finishing off, just for our viewers to get a little bit of a profile about the amazing Errol Douglas. We've got some usual Barbers Arms questions that we like to ask to build a little bit of a profile. So, Errol, what is your favourite food?
My favourite food, plant-based. I don't eat meat or fish. Anything to do with vegetables and making them look like meat.
Yeah, makes sense.
Gary, stop it!
Can't wait to fetch you up to Barnsley for a night out. Errol, favourite music?
Oh, I like. I used to be a DJ, so my music is. I like soul, funky house, jazz, swing beat, rap. You name it. Anything with a beat, anything to get us up. And I'm saying that only because you know what it's like. Every time you do a show, you have to have the right show block. So I know what it's like,
Absolutely.
especially when you did the opening of Shabba. What did you play? Come on.
Free Caroline. Hey, listen, it got everybody on the feet.
Yeah,
Stoke song, that is.
of course it did. But I would have played a rap version of that.
Well, next time before I do any compare stuff, you can help me with the music. Errol,
Okay.
what's your favourite drink?
Brandy and Coke, and one of my best friends in the world, Kareem Jackson, champagne.
Yeah, we've had champagne lots of times at fellowship events, award events. Karine does like it. She don't buy it, but she likes drinking it. Errol, where's your favourite destination? Where's the favourite place you like to travel to?
The Maldives.
Beautiful.
Secluded, nobody around, no telephones, no Wi-Fi, just you, sand, water, and nature. Woo!
Did you say naked woman then, or nature?
Nature.
Nature, he said. Stop it, Gary. Too much
That's
moonshine. And Errol, finally,
Porn stars
who would be your ideal dinner date?
One of the Hadid sisters.
One of the
Hadid sisters.
Hadid.
Oh my God! You know Bella Hadid and the
Yeah.
supermodels. Gary, tell him. You know.
Of course he does. He lives in Stoke-on-Trent. He's mixing with them every weekend. Drinking
All the
moonshine.
time.
So listen, guys.
I've seen him twice in Dubai.
Yes. What? Both of them together.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, he was
Yeah.
with me as well, drinking moonshine.
They're
So listen,
stunning.
guys, tonight we've had an amazing night on Barbers Arms, our 10th episode. Over 600,000 people have watched us over COVID-19 and lockdown. We appreciate everything that's going. This is going to continue and get bigger and bigger. Tonight we've had two amazing guests on. We've had Van Council on from the Van Michael Group in America. The BBA have also secured the amazing Errol Douglas Mbe. And finishing off with Errol, if Errol is sat there, his favourite food is something vegetarian, he'll be listening to some soul music or some jazz music. As a DJ, he loves all music. His favourite drink would be brandy and Coke, but if Kareem Jackson's there, we're going to be drinking champagne. His favourite destination for all this will be in the Maldives. And he will be having that meal and the music, everything with one of the Hadid sisters. Errol Douglas, a British icon, a global icon, one of the best hairdressers, best hairdressing presenters globally that's graced our industry, tonight has been on Barbers Arms. I'm so proud to interview you. I'm so proud to call you a friend. And I think you're an absolutely amazing ambassador for everything we stand for, mate. And listen to me and look at me when I'm saying this. You are a top man. Thank you for interviewing us tonight. Thank you for being in the arms tonight. Gary?
Fantastic, mate. Thank you very much. If just what we just heard, if Carlsberg, I'm getting a pinch this, by the way.
Who's pinching?
If Carlsberg did a date, you've just named it, baby.
It's become my ideal dinner date. Listen, Gary, if you ask me that question, Errol's going to be my ideal dinner date. As long as we got.
Can I say one? Can I say one?
At the same time.
Can I say one thing? Wait, don't go anywhere, Simon. Can I say one thing just to close this? You're going to close it, but in this whole thing of what's happening, what we have to do is listen and learn. And one of the things, and I always say this, and it's a strap line what somebody gave me, and it's so true. When one wins, we all win, and that's what we should strive for. Just like
we're stronger.
Yeah, unity.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Errol Douglas Mbe.
Thank you, Errol. See you later.
Thank you very much, Gary. Thank you, Simon.
Errol, speak to you soon. I'll give you a ring in a bit.
All right, take care. Bye.
Gary, what a night. Barbers Arms. Jesus Christ, it's the longest show we've ever done. It's been absolutely amazing. I've loved it tonight. Really loved it tonight.
It actually isn't the longest, but it's how intense, fantastic, unbelievably brilliant. Do you know what? I've spoken to Errol about 5 times, something like that, to do with the Barber Council and Hair Council. I met him in Westminster.
Well,
but
let's have a shot while we finish it off, me and you, pal, because obviously me and you start the bar off and we finish it off. Guys, you're amazing. Everybody loves you. I've been listening to messages today. They're not tuning in to listen to Errol or Van. They're tuning in to watch you guys. You're the man. A little bit of tequila coming out here.
Us.
They love that. I think ITV's looking at you. They're looking at, they're going to try and fetch out Opportunity Knocks. And they think that you're going to be the new presenter of Opportunity Knocks.
Yeah, knocker.
So, where did fucking Wiz come from? When Wiz? What's Wiz? I've never even heard of Wiz. Here, let's have a shot. Here we go.
I've had mine.
Oh, just let Jackie and Ross know, I'm getting down this bottle of Patron. Woo!
Is that the only bottle you've got for drinkers shots or what? I've been.
No, I've got lots. I can't mix my drinks a lot, mate. I'm not like you. I'm not a beer monster. Barbers' Arms has turned me into an alcoholic. I've had one night off all through lockdown. We are drinking.
Wait till we take it on the road. There'll be no hiding there, maybe.
Oh, I think though we should be speaking to Errol, and I think we should be doing one in Knightsbridge. Me and you in a nice in the Mayfair Hotel. Me and Gaz there tonight. All right, yes, Butler. Champagne. Come on, fetch it in. Barbers' Arms. Me and Gaz have arrived.
With her own butler. Come on, Fanny. I'll have another.
Yes, Butler there. All the job lot. We'll have the fucking full works there. Come on, Fanny. Fetch us whizzing. For God. Like getting whiz. Fucking whiz. We grew up. Our vice was kids were cider. Bloody hell. I didn't ask Errol about the Instagram barber or the Instagram hairdresser at a minute, but I hope our viewers are the same as me and you tonight. You told me about Van, first time I met him tonight. But I tell you what, wow, what a guy. No wonder you go on about him all the time. No wonder you talk about him saying what a great guy he is, because that was a great interview tonight. And Errol Douglas tonight, he's a massive icon anyway, but listening to his interview tonight, these guys are going to let loads of fans through our Barbers' Arms because they've just come over so well.
I mean, Van is... I got introduced to Van through the BBA, obviously, through Brian Guam, because he made the connection. But Van is the loveliest. He's got the most integrity I've ever met with any bloke in my entire life. He looks after his staff to the point, and everything because you know when we go around the world and we visit so many barber shops, so many businesses, you go into shows, but I actually go into businesses as well. You pick up all the good points, don't you? The bad points you have to flag up, and the good points you pick up as well. And we've taken so many of those good points to our business. I can't tell you, it's unbelievable. And Van is one of those places. They are. I just, if you were there with me, honestly, you would not believe. If I told you what we were doing and what they did, you'd think I was making it up, honestly. But they are so good. It's quite unbelievable. And
we've just got a question coming in, Gary, from one of our followers tonight, just saying, did you just call your butler Fanny?
Well, my butler is Rachel, so she has got a fanny, if that's what you're on about.
Woo-hoo! Big talk from the Meechmeister.
Yeah!
That's what tonight, though. I said to you, last few weeks as well, I'm sure some of our viewers will watch it live and will get into us, but I know a lot of you watch this over like Sunday morning and Saturday morning and rest of the week, and we thank you for that, but I thought tonight I'm going to take it nice and steady and not write me Saturday off because like tequila and drinks. But I've had 3 Moretti's, maybe 3/4 a bottle of Verve Click champagne, 3 shots of tequila. Saturday's gone. Finito.
Well,
Saturday's is finished. So I'm getting the daggers already from her indoors to say we're going to go for a 10K walk.
Well, I've got a taste. I have, to be honest. I've just got to the point now where I've just cracked a beer now. I've got Anything Guns original. And this is it. This is it now. I'm on it, but I've got to be at work for 8 in the morning.
But viewers that are listening, we've gone well over time tonight, and if you're watching this, you'll know exactly what I'm saying is that from day one I've said I get into a bar with Gary, I have a really good time for about 5 drinks, and I want to carry on, but I know I've got to work tomorrow, so I get out of there because he gets the taste when it's really lively around about 11 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night. So I'm gonna have to bow out at this point. Gary will carry on this meeting and a drink.
Hey, can you remember where we were? I don't know what show it was or what year it was. I brought Jake up to it, and we went around Manchester, and you started singing as we were walking to the next bar. There was a busker. There was a busker on the street, and you gave it the full Oasis. You got a mean voice, you have.
Hey, listen, I gave him a tenner as well, but I sung along with him. It was good. We enjoyed that night. We had a good drink and everything, so it's been good. Guys, listen in next week. We've got the amazing. We've got Baldy from Andy's Clippers going to be joining us. We've got Jay Ramos, the Mexican barber residing out of New York. He's going to be on Barbers Arms next week. And it's also Mr. Machin's birthday party. Everybody's invited next week on Barbers Arms to celebrate Gary's 43rd birthday next week on Barbers Arms. So that's what we're going to be celebrating next week. Listen, guys, thank you for viewing. Enjoy these views. Follow us on our website, which is thebarbersarms.co.uk. You can follow me, Simon Shortwall, and you can also follow the British Barber on Instagram as well, which is Gary. And follow us all. We'll look forward to watching you, seeing you all next week. And have a great week. We're not far away from getting back to normality. The 4th of July beckons. We're getting in there.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Keep us fingers crossed. Everybody's opening on Monday, retail-wise, on 15th. So hopefully you all get back to some normality. Great guest tonight. Thank you to Van Council, and thank you to Errol Douglas Mbe, amazing guest tonight on the Barbers Arms. And thank you to the British Barbers Association, Trevor and Jackie, for hosting tonight. We'll see you all next Friday with Jay Ramos and
Baldy.
Cooking with Baldy. Listen, before we finish though, just a quick one. I watched Baldy tonight on his Cooking with Baldy. He was so tired. He'd been to his shop. He got some Baldy. Stop cooking with Baldy. You are no Gordon Ramsay. All right? So stop it. I know you're watching this tonight. Fucking stop it. Stop cooking with Baldy. It's not good and it's not clever. Come on. We're looking forward to next week. Let's get on it. Gary, over to you. Good night. God bless everybody. We'll see you all next Friday on Barbers Arms.
And guys, thank you very much, everybody, for showing up tonight and giving and future views. I mean, I know we have such a lot of people that view us on a Saturday morning and through the week. We love you. Thank you very much. Do something sensible. Don't go out and rioting. We're all in it together. We haven't earned any money now for 10 weeks. Come on, give us a break. Stay at home and don't go anywhere you shouldn't and do anything you shouldn't. Love you. Simon, see you next week, mate.
Guys, see you all next week. Bye.